Hey there, happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for making the time to watch this replay. Let me know that you're watching. Drop the word replay in the comments below so that I can come back and greet you properly after the fact and answer any questions that you might have. And if you find this video valuable, I ask that you please share it so that others can benefit from the discussion too. Today, we are talking about content strategy. Everyone is still talking about all of the changes to the Facebook newsfeed and what that means to us, especially as business owners. And you guys, this really is a good thing. I talked about that last week, and then even more changes were announced late last week. So I want to spend time today talking about what we might want to be considering for our own businesses to get smarter about our content strategy so that we are not overwhelmed, feeling like we need to be everywhere all the time, but how we can take advantage of the knowledge that we have about how we think the algorithm here on Facebook is going to change, because we can absolutely make it work for us. Now, if you don't know me or don't know me well, my name is Carrie Price. I'm a brand messaging coach helping ambitious women business owners find and own the words to stand out, be heard, and make your message roar. That means having a message that is relatable, one of a kind, actionable, and reliable. Hey, Janita, thank you so much for joining me live. Thank you for being here. Please let me know if you have any questions as we go. And if you are joining me live, please say hi down in the comments so that I can greet you properly. And if you think this is a topic that other people will benefit from, please share this video so that they can hop on and join us too. So, hey, Victoria, so good to see you. Thank you for joining me. So I talked in last week's messaging mini class about increasing our own engagement, right? And being careful of the changes that Facebook's making to cut down on engagement bait and how to stay out of Facebook timeout or Facebook jail, because there are a lot of people that are being impacted by that. And so you can go back and catch last week's video. But since then, Facebook made an additional announcement late last week, and it still has people up in arms. And a lot of people are really scared or frustrated, or we don't know what we need to do to make Facebook work for us in our businesses. So I want to chat about how we can just get smarter about our overall content strategy. So tell me right now, where are you engaging already? Where are you putting your message out there? Are you on Facebook, and in what way? What other social media platforms are you on? Do you blog? Do you have an email newsletter that you send out? Drop that in the comments below, because I don't know about you, but there's a little bit of pressure to feel like we have to be everywhere, right? And that is overwhelming and frustrating, and we do not have to be, but we absolutely have to be smart. Evelata, thank you so much for joining me. Oh, you're looking at me with your reading glasses. Awesome. You know what? I think I'm getting close to needing those too. I actually had LASIK eye surgery quite a few years ago now, maybe close to 10 years ago. But when you get over 40, and I'm well over 40 now, they say that your nearsightedness, your ability to see up close, will still degrade. I think I'm getting close to needing readers. I'm not quite like needing it out there, but I can't read stuff too close either. Hey, Malin, so good to see you. Good morning, Fran. Oh, Fran says my hair looks gorgeous. Thank you. I've tried new hair products today, and I'm liking them. Good morning, Tracy. Good afternoon for you. Okay, so Malin does blogging through her website, posting on blogs, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Yep, those are all good platforms. Who else? What other platforms? How are you guys getting your message out today? Where are you currently posting? Share that with me in the comments. Okay, because here's what I want to let you know. I have been struggling with this too. So we're all going to learn together, okay? I'm going to call it playing on different platforms, because to be honest, I haven't been as strategic about some of these other platforms yet. I'm trying to be, and I'm starting to make some changes a little bit today. My primary platform is Facebook, and I'm going to talk about what I'm doing and what I'm learning from everything. I've been watching all the experts changes. I've been reading articles, like what do we need to do to make sure that we still get the reach and engagement that we're looking for here on Facebook. broadening my content reach, and that's what I want to chat about. Fran says, currently marketing on Facebook, mostly my biz page. I have a blog and I'd like to create an email newsletter. Awesome. Evalata says, main places have been Facebook and Instagram, but now also working with my blog. Awesome. Yeah, let me know where you guys are hanging out. Okay, so we are all feeling a little, right? Every time a new announcement comes out, we're thinking, oh my gosh, like, how do we even keep up? And you know what? I'll share this with you. My husband and I had an interesting conversation over the weekend. He is also in branding. He works for an advertising agency. And we probably talked for 2 hours over breakfast. And he does not like Facebook. He is personally not on Facebook. And I am, like, a large chunk of my business is here on Facebook. So we come at it from two very different points of view. And here's one of the key takeaway from that conversation. Love it or not, if you're using Facebook, it is up to us to make sure we understand how to make it work for us. Just like when he develops television commercials for his clients and they're looking at where they air it, you've got to play within the guidelines or the rules of where you're going to place the ad, right? When he goes to create an ad for a magazine ad for a client, he plays within the guidelines of whatever the magazine tells them they have to do, right? Facebook is another place where we are able to market and advertise our business, and we have to learn how to play within the guidelines. So if you can take out the emotional frustration, we're all frustrated. Look, I'm not going to pretend I'm not, right? We're all a little frustrated, but if you can take out the emotional reaction to being frustrated, like, it's changing again, it's a platform I think that still works. But I do think how we use it's going to change. And I'm absolutely changing my own strategy around the content that I put out here on Facebook. And we're going to chat about that. Hey, Jade. Jade says, hey, darling, lovely to see you. So good to see you here, too. Thank you for catching me live. All right. So here's the thing. The number one thing, if you take nothing else away from this chat today, it's that we have to get strategic with the content that we're putting out there. We cannot randomly put stuff out there and hope it works. And that's not just for Facebook. That's going to be any platform, right? And so that might mean you're not everywhere, but I would argue it means you need to be in more than one place. We are always looking for where our ideal clients hang out, right? We want to put content out there that is, so our ideal clients can find us, get to like us, know us, right? Ultimately, want to work with us. And there's a lot of different ways you can do that. And a lot of people talk about the funnel, right? Like you put content out there and the reason it's called a funnel is it starts broad. Can you guys see me? Because it starts broad and then like less people move to the next step and then less people move to the next step and you funnel them down through a series of activities or brand touch points to get them to ultimately, if they are your ideal client, possibly want to work with you, right? So when you're thinking about your overall content strategy, call it your funnel strategy, call it just your brand recognition strategy, whatever you're doing to put content out there, you want to ask yourself what the goal is. What is the goal for being on Facebook? What is your goal for being on Instagram or Pinterest or YouTube or an email newsletter or a blog? Because we can spend a whole lot of time putting content in all those places, but if we're not aware of what our goals are that we're trying to achieve, we have no way to measure if that thing that we're doing is effective to know if we should do more of it or to stop. Because you cannot, just like in your business and your message, you cannot be all things to all people. You cannot be everywhere for all people, at least not by yourself. Now, if you hire a social media manager or you have a VA or you've got a team that is helping you be visible in a lot of places, that's one thing. But even then, you still want to be strategic about what you're putting out there. Okay, so what are your goals? Hey, Marie Carmen, I'm delighted that you're here too. Evalata says, good show and tell. Yeah, okay, great. That's a good goal, right? But what is the good show and tell really meant to do? when you're marketing for your business, for those of you who haven't heard me explain this, let me just define a few key terms that I'm going to use so that we're speaking the same language, okay? Your brand is your reputation as it's perceived in the mind of the market. That's it. It's what people think of you. So you've got to be thinking about what you want to be known for. What do you want to be seen as the expert in, right? Every single time somebody encounters you. Now you control and shape that brand through marketing. Marketing is the communication of your, find that in a minute, but marketing is the opportunity for your ideal client, your prospects, anybody out in the market to actually have an encounter, an interaction, a brand touch point with you. Okay. So marketing is your mechanism for getting out there, sharing your message, imprinting on their brain to shape your brand, which is your reputation. And your message is what you're communicating in your marketing. And it should be consistent every time. Your message should roar, right? It should be relatable, one of a kind, actionable, and reliable. So now that we are all on the same page, when you are putting out content, that's marketing. And the goal of that marketing is to build, shape, and control your brand. So everything that you put out there better be showing you as an expert, better be building your know, like, and trust, better be solidifying your space in their mind. What's the thing you want to be known for? And everything you put out there should do that, right? So this is partly why Facebook's cracking down on this engagement bait. You guys see it. I see posts all the time. And honestly, I question why people put it out there. Why put out a post that has nothing to do with your area of expertise? So yeah, am I getting to know that person like as a person? Okay, maybe, right? And so if you're doing things that help people just get to know you and your personality and engage with you in that way, awesome. But when you're putting out posts that do nothing to help solidify you in my mind as the expert that you are, it's not serving your brand. Every time you see me outside of my personal Facebook page, or my personal Facebook profile, let's make sure we're using the right words, right? Your personal profile, you're watching here on my business page, and I have a free Facebook group. On my personal profile, that's personal. That's what it's meant to be for. That's what Facebook wants us to get back to. By the way, more and more people are finally getting pegged and having their accounts shut down for posting their business content on their personal profile. Some people recommend that you do that. I do not, because it is absolutely against the Facebook terms of service. You can get your account shut down. Please don't take the risk of doing that. Share your content on your business page and then share that to your personal profile. That's fine. But posting directly on your personal profile, about your business, like putting your business post there, actually is against terms of service. Don't get pegged by that. Okay. Okay. So, you want to make sure that your goal for your content is to establish you as an expert. I've shared this story before and I'm going to share it again. I can show up in a brand new group having never engaged in a group, and in less than, I'm going to call it 2 days now. And in less than 2 days, because of the posts I show up with and the engagement strategies that I have, I am instantly seen as a messaging expert. I do not post things that detract from that. I do not cause any confusion in people's minds. So you need to make sure your content strategy is all about getting your message out there in a way that it roars. Don't blend in. Don't sound like anybody else. Don't create confusion. And what your area of expertise is, own it. Okay. So when you're thinking about that, the next thing you want to think about, we talked about this funnel, like you put content out there and like people get closer, fewer and fewer people sort of come down this engagement path with you all the way to hopefully being a client, if they're the right person, if they're the ideal client. Because what you want is you're weeding out the people that are not. Okay. So think about what your goal is on where do you want them to come to get closer to you, to have more engagement with you, for you to nurture, love, and support them, to add your value. Is it your Facebook group where you're building community? Is it your email list? Email marketing is still king. I've heard this before, but Mari Smith, she's one of the people that I follow. She is the queen of Facebook. in one of her videos last week talking about all of these newsfeed changes, she's reminded us all Facebook is rented land. You are here on Facebook's territory, on Facebook's platform, and we have to abide by their rules. By the way, Facebook could go out of business tomorrow. What would you do? If you can get people into places offline, now I know Facebook's goal is to keep people online and engaged, and I do that too. We're going to talk about some of the specific strategies I'm going to be using to make the most of Facebook. But if you can get people offline and onto your email list, they've given you permission to stay in touch with them. They have given you permission to engage with them, and you go right into their inbox. You don't need Facebook to do that, right? So, and that goes for all the social media platforms, okay? That is rented land. You own your blog, you own your email list. Maybe take backups of your list in case your email provider goes out of business too. But do you get what I'm saying? Like, you're on rented land. So think about what your ultimate goal is for where you want people to come. Oh, catching up, Evilata, when you said good show and tell, you meant the funnel vision. Okay, awesome. I thought you were saying that that's the kind of content you want to put out there. Hey, Chris, so good to see you. Chris says, I've just started putting value posts on my personal profile. Yeah. Treading the fine line there if it's business related. I recently have been hearing in some circles people are getting their accounts shut down because they're doing that. So just be careful. Okay, Evilata, this is the show and tell you meant. Okay, awesome. So let's talk about what you might want to be thinking about with your content strategy, okay, and where you might want to show up. Let's start with Facebook. That's where we are right now. This is what everyone is talking about. Here's what I'm learning. And like I said, I am watching videos and listening to podcasts and reading articles from all the big players in the space. Their analysis and their take on what these changes mean for small businesses like you and me, right? So hands down, the number one thing everyone is unanimous about, Facebook Live is king. That is the content that Facebook is trying to encourage above all else. And I'll just give you some of the highlights that are reinforcing why that is. When you share content, here's some of the things that Facebook said is going to help you get reach in the algorithm. People who come back to your page week after week or very repetitively to watch your content. Watch your Facebook Lives. It's not just about live. I love that you guys are here live right now. And for those of you that are watching the replay, thank you for coming and doing that. That's helping me in the Facebook algorithm. And I go live every week on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. When Facebook sees that the same people come and watch my lives week after week, even if you're coming and watching the replay, in fact, there's a little part of me that thinks coming back and watching the replay gives you better boost on the algorithm, because in Facebook's eyes, people are coming to look for my content. Even if they missed it, I put out valuable content. People are coming back to look for that and watch it. But if you're joining me live and if you're sharing it and you're commenting and you're liking and giving me hearts, all of which I love, by the way, because that means this was valuable content. That's one of the ways that Facebook identifies value. This is why a lot of people were getting stuck in that engagement bait. They were asking for likes and hearts, like getting this false engagement, not because it's a value post, but because you're just trying to get people to engage with you to like beat the algorithm, right? So hands down, the number one thing that you can be doing for your business to increase your organic reach on Facebook is doing Facebook Live. It doesn't have to be every day. Once a week is great. I personally am considering twice a week. Right now, though, I am committed. I've been going once a week every Tuesday, except for the Christmas week, for the last at least couple months, and I will continue to do that. Every time, every week, same day and time. So it's like having your own TV channel, you guys. This is my own TV show every week, Tuesday at 11 a.m. You can come here and get valuable information from me, okay? So hands down, if you're using Facebook Live, if you're not using Facebook Live, do it. If you want a safe place to practice, come inside my free group, The Messaging Den. You can search for that on here on Facebook or go to themessagingden.com. You can go live in my Facebook group anytime as long as you keep it under 10 minutes. to practice and get comfortable and get support and get feedback and ask questions around that. Okay. And there are other groups that focus just on Facebook Live as well. And I could recommend some of those for you. There's Lucia's group is changing. I'm going to announce more about that later today or tomorrow. There's some changes coming and I'm going to share that with you. But look for opportunities where you can practice in safe places so that you can get comfortable on your platform, on your business page, going live and getting that visibility. Now, let's be honest. The second thing we absolutely are going to have to do on Facebook is ads. We don't pay as consumers of information to use Facebook, but Facebook is a business. They are a business. This is a mechanism, a tool, a marketing platform for businesses to use because billions of people are on this platform, right? So it's no surprise we're going to have to use ads. Now we have to get smarter about how we use ads. I just shared, I think I shared it here on my page, a Facebook Live that I watched yesterday about whether you should use the boost feature or whether you should go into the ads manager and create an ad. One of the best short videos I've seen explaining the topic, totally helping me. I know exactly when I'm going to boost and when exactly I'm not, and I'm going to go use the Facebook Ads Manager to do that. We have to get over the fact that we're going to have to pay to get seen. We are a business. It's an advertising expense. It's a marketing expense. 15 years ago, when I had a full service branding agency, it was before social media. There was almost no free places to do any sort of marketing or advertising. You paid for everything. You still have an opportunity to get organic, free marketing here on Facebook, but you will have it so much faster if you use ads, but you got to be smart with it. That's one of my personal goals for Q1 is to really learn the ins and outs and really leveraging Facebook ads so much smarter. Okay, the other thing to know about Facebook that's going to impact your visibility in the feed is don't put posts out there that you don't think are going to get engagement. I went back and looked at posts that I've shared this week. You guys, posts, it's because the whole algorithm change, right? If I'm not getting engagement, that's hurting me in the long run. So I'm going to post less on my business page, but it's going to be more about things that it's my Facebook Lives, mini videos that I'll be posting. It's video content that Facebook is prioritizing over all else. Sharing a lot of content that gets no engagement is worse than sharing a little content that's super valuable, gets tons of engagement, and gets Facebook's recognition. That's going to be affecting my content strategy here on Facebook. Evalata asks, how did you choose the timing based on availability in most regions where your clients are or related to the algorithm? Excellent question, Evalata. So honestly, I chose the time that I knew I could commit to going live every single week. Now, I did choose a time in the morning because I do have clients in Europe, and I didn't want it too early because I do have clients Pacific time on the West Coast. So 11 a.m. Eastern gives me the broadest potential reach for people to join me live. But don't worry if you don't get a ton of people joining you live, because the replays are just as powerful. Getting engagement on the replay, you will get more watches on the replay than you will live ever, like all the time, right? So pick a time that you know you can commit to without fail and reliably show up at that time. Okay. Okay. So basically in summary for Facebook, I'm going all in on Facebook Live, probably increasing the amount of times per week I go live between my page and in my group. Different kind of content goes live inside my group. That's more like behind the scenes. It's a little bit more casual. The stuff that I put on my page, I want to be super valuable, that helps the most people, and establishes me as your brand messaging coach expert. That's what this is all about, right? Is showing up as an expert. Okay. So as much as Facebook's still like my primary method for engaging with the most people, everyone agrees that can't be the only thing. You can't put all your eggs in the Facebook basket. So let's talk about how to consider other platforms and other mechanisms. And already some of you are thinking like, oh my God, I barely can keep up with Facebook. How can I keep up with multiple social media platforms or a blog or an email? Like, I know you guys are thinking that. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Okay. But think about what other platforms are places where your people, your potential clients are hanging out. Where do you want to be building a reputation? So where I unsuccessfully hung out last year and where I want to get better at is LinkedIn. So I don't have a really great LinkedIn strategy. Every platform is going to work a little bit different. I was putting out a similar content to what I was sharing on Facebook, but I want to get smarter about using LinkedIn as a native platform. Now, when you hear people say that, most of us are comfortable on Facebook. So you know how to put content out on Facebook. When you go to other social platforms, they might work a little bit differently. And so you want to be creating content that's native to the platform. Here's a really simple example to explain what I'm talking about. On Facebook, you might share a post and include a URL link to a landing page for them to grab your freebie or whatever, right? You can have a link to drive people wherever you want to go. On Instagram, for example, links are not live on your post. So if you have it, it's not clickable. You can't tap it or click it and have it go to your, to that page, right? So people would have to like manually type it in. So on Instagram, never post a post that has the link, like click to sign up here, because they can't do it. You only have the link that's in your profile. Now, you can have more than one link associated with that link in your profile. And if you don't know how to do that, comment below if you want to know what that secret is. Okay, and I'll share that with you. But you only have the links in the profile. So no matter where you're hanging out, make sure you understand the rules of the game, right? We were talking about that. We have to understand how to make Facebook work for us. If we don't play the rules of the game, it's just not going to be as effective. If you're going to hang out on Instagram, you got to understand the rules of the game. If you want to hang out on Twitter, you got to understand the rules of the game. LinkedIn, wherever it is that you're hanging out. Now, one of the strategies that I'm taking is not exactly the same content in all the places, but I am going to talk to you about, like, you don't have to create original content everywhere. But for example, on Instagram, I've started hanging out there a little bit more, trying to figure out, like, what's my strategy around Instagram. On Instagram, I share more just behind the scenes stuff. I shared pictures of my new video studio as I was setting it up. I shared pictures of, I'm going to share it with you now, but I shared a picture of this Living Your Best Year Ever planner that I'm working through to help me achieve the big goals that I have for this year. So I'm sharing some more of like behind the scenes things that are happening over on Instagram. That's to build relationship, for like people to get to know me in a different way. And so if you follow me on Facebook and you follow me on Instagram, it'll be slightly different. Now, I do put some of the same content on Instagram, and I'm actually going to be doing more of that, but in a different way. We're going to chat about that. On Twitter, now Twitter is one that I just can't decide if I really want to do or not, because tweets have like an average lifespan of 20 minutes. So depending on who you listen to, you need to post on Twitter somewhere between 4 and 10 times a day. Crazy, right? Now you can use scheduling tools like Buffer or Recur Post or Meet Edgar to help you with your Twitter content. And I think that's more how I'm going to use it. And again, when I share with you a little bit more about my overall content strategy, I'll talk to you about what I'm doing over on Twitter. But really for me, Twitter is just, it's a way to drive people back to content I have in other places. That's my goal for Twitter, right? So remember I said, like, wherever you're doing, got to think about what your goals are. Instagram for me, the goal is a little behind the scenes. It's still professional. It's not, I have a brand I'm representing, right? My brand. I have a way I'm showing up, but it's behind the scenes, a little bit more on Instagram. Twitter, I want to share snippets, and that's what Twitter's about, right? Snippets, quotes, and highlights for content that drives them back to other places, like this Facebook Live, to increase my engagement here on Facebook, make this live even more valuable. At LinkedIn, I probably won't drive to Facebook. LinkedIn, my strategy is going to be around putting really valuable content in a way that works on LinkedIn and engages with people there, because the people who are engaging on LinkedIn probably aren't on Facebook in the way that I engage with people here, but maybe more and more entrepreneurs are moving over to LinkedIn and tapping into that market. So we'll see how that plays out. But, Evalata, yes, that's my trick. Linktree. If you don't already use it, check it out. It's linktr.ee. It basically gives you a mini landing page of links. You can go check mine out. So I'm at Carrie Price on Instagram. Go to my profile and you can see all the links that I have available, different things that I might want people to be able to click, right? So that my posts, I can have more than one thing. I'm more than one potential call to action depending on what my post is. So you can go check mine out over on Instagram. Okay. I also have a Facebook group, right? So now back on Facebook a little bit. I have my own Facebook group where I'm building community, providing more behind the scenes Facebook Lives there, providing support and encouragement, giving you a safe space to come practice your message, get comfortable sharing it, whether that's Facebook Live or a written post, getting feedback, support, encouragement, tapping into a group of amazing entrepreneurs that really want to make their message roar. And so you're surrounded by a lot of amazing people, right? That's the messaging. You who don't know that yet, I talk about it all the time. You can search for that right here on Facebook or just go to themessagingden.com. We also talked a little bit about email marketing. That is also one of my primary mechanisms. And I'm revisiting my whole strategy around email marketing, how often I email and what I email, because I don't want to abuse that. I don't mean abuse in a malicious way, but I don't want to abuse it where like you get 3 emails from me a week. I know some weeks it feels like that. I'm sorry. Like if there's just lots of really good, juicy stuff happening these last couple weeks as we've kicked off the new year, lots of really great stuff happening. But I want to make that better. Like I want you to be able to get all of the information from me that you're after if you prefer email rather than like following me and all the on and where you can get free training and information from me like these Facebook Lives. But I don't want to overwhelm the inbox. So you might just be thinking a little bit like, oh my God, she just named like 5 or 6 different places. What do I do? How can I create content for all of those places and have it be native to the platform and have it be effective for the platform? You do not have to create brand new original content every day for all of those platforms. You guys have heard, I'm not the only one that talks about this. You guys have heard this from everybody. You want to repurpose your content. This is one of the things I am sort of good at, not great at, getting better at. I too am working on getting way more strategic with my content because I'm going all in with Facebook Lives and these weekly Tuesday messaging mini classes. And I said, remember, it's not just about the live watchers. It's about the replays and people coming back and looking for your content, putting valuable content that people want to come back to and that they think is so valuable, they will share it. If you guys are finding this valuable, please share. Let me know if you're shared this video, right? Just post that in the comments for me so I can see that. Thank you so much in advance. It's about repurposing this content into all those other platforms. So later this week inside the Messaging Den, I think I'm going to do it on Friday. I'm going to do a behind the scenes video and show you the new system that I'm creating for myself for my exact content strategy and how I'm taking one piece of juicy content like this Facebook Live and leveraging it everywhere. How I'm going to leverage that on Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. How I will create original YouTube content or shorter pre-recorded videos because Facebook still likes video. It's like Facebook Live, recorded video, then written post. So it's like still better than like a written post that gets no engagement. If it's juicy, valuable video content, it's still going to get you good engagement, right? So how I'm going to start using that and tying all this together. Here's the thing. once you've been in business for a while, if you're putting out valuable content, first of all, if your message is rock solid and locked in, you never run out of things to talk about. I did that last week in my group. After the engagement talk I did on Tuesday, I said, look, inside my group, I said, challenge me, give me any topic, anything, and I will create a messaging related value post related to that. Because I'm so locked into my message and what it is I want to communicate and share with the world and what I want people to know about messaging. I can literally turn anything into a messaging related value post. So when you have that rock solid foundation of your message, you can too. But you also will get to the point where you have this library of amazing content. I already can go back and probably look at some Facebook Lives I did in November and December and repurpose that content, redrive traffic back to that. I've already put that content out there, right? So you want to repurpose your content. You want to leverage one juicy topic and make it work on all the platforms. It's not about creating 1,500 posts every week that goes to all these places, showing up 10 times a day. That's not what it's about. Now, it is true that not everybody will see everything that you're putting out there, but that's why you've got to get more strategic about what you're putting out there, right? And how you promote it, how you get visible. And I don't use the word promote as like a salesy promote thing, but like, how do people know where to find your best stuff? You got to let them know that, right? You got to tell them where they can go. Where are they going to get in each of the places? So, you can come here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, right? And catch me live on some juicy topic that we're going to chat about. Okay. Let me catch up on some comments. Oh, Eva Lotta. Okay, we're talking about Linktree. She says, I prefer asking them to go to the link in profile though, because then you lose out on the option to target through the Facebook pixel. So I opted out. Eva Lotta, you are not losing out if you use something like PixelMe. It's pixel.me. Go check them out. You can create any link and create a shortened pixeled link so that you can use anywhere and still tag them with your Facebook pixel. You guys, that's part of ad strategy, like to know the activities that people are taking so you can retarget. You absolutely want to be pixeling that, which basically means like you're able to track activity, right? And see where people are engaging with you so you can retarget them with the Facebook ad. Check out PixelMe, pixel.me. Tracy says, I'm not very active on any at the moment, but I've noticed more impact on LinkedIn. I think the kind of activity may have influence. Absolutely, Tracy. It definitely depends on who your target market is. So getting really clear about your ideal client and your target market. You guys probably heard me talk about this before. It is so much more than the ideal client avatar. But Tracy, for you, LinkedIn is absolutely a great platform for you to find the resources that are going to be your ideal client. Definitely make sure you're taking advantage of that. Doesn't mean you won't find them on Facebook, but maybe LinkedIn's better, right? So again, it's all about being more strategic with your content, right? We don't just throw things out there. And you also want to be monitoring what's working. If I start spending a lot more time on Twitter and don't really see traction from Twitter, I'm going to stop. I'm just telling you right now, because I don't feel the need to be everywhere. Where I am though, I want to make sure that I can show up authentically with value and engaging with people. I also don't want to throw stuff out there and not be part of a conversation, because social media is about being social, you guys. It's about building relationships. My number one strength finder talent theme is relator. I love to build relationships. So I don't like to be anywhere where it's not I think that's why Twitter is hard for me. I have a harder time feeling like I can engage and build relationships. I feel like it's a lot of one-way stuff. And I think that's what my resistance is around Twitter, but I'm going to give it a good, honest try so that I can evaluate whether it's the right place for me or not. Fran says, my number one issue when thinking on my email marketing is that I don't know what content to share through email. Excellent, Fran. I think everybody struggles with that. In your overall content strategy, your email is the closest that you can get to people. It's direct communication. It's where you should do the most nurturing. It's where you should do the most brand building. To be honest, I don't think I'm using my email marketing nearly as well as I should in sharing more stories. And I know, Eva Lotta, you're going to love that, right? You're all about storytelling, but sharing your stories there, sharing experiences. You are landing in people's inbox. You're getting their permission to have them as a captive audience. Now, for me, and again, I'm going to share more of this inside the messaging den on Friday with my own content strategy, but I'll give you guys a sneak peek. My email newsletters will drive, there'll be some written stuff, but it will drive to video content. I'm just putting that out there. Yeah, Eva Lotta, says, really, that's cool if that's true. And I think that's about Pixel.me. Yeah, check them out. Pixel.me. Okay. So what questions do you guys have? As I'm wrapping up this discussion, so again, I'm going to continue this discussion, giving you guys more of a detailed sneak peek into my own content strategy and the things that I'm thinking about trying and testing. You guys, we all have to do a little bit of testing to see what works and doesn't, right? You've got to be willing to put stuff out there and measure it. We don't want to just put stuff out there and then I don't know, did that work or not? We need to know that we're having ways to measure if we're getting good results from that. Friday, inside the messaging den, I will share with you my new content strategy that I'm working on, and how I'm using all the different pieces and how they're going to all relate to each other. So if you're not already a member of the messaging den, be sure you go and join so that you can get access to that behind. Here's the other thing that I really want to reinforce with you. As we are working on trying to put out engaging content as business owners, if you want to see more engaging content, be more engaging on other people's valuable content. And can I just say this? This is I don't know. I'm willing to ruffle some feathers about this. Can you please stop engaging with the engagement bait? People do it because people respond to it. If it's not a value post, stop engaging with it, because we need that stuff to die out so that all of our collective valuable content is what gets seen. Don't feed the monster. Okay. But when you see amazing, great content, comment on it, like it, share it so that you get more great content from that person. If you like the Facebook Lives that I share with you and the content that I provide and you want to see more of it, help me out, like it, comment on it, share it. Okay. I am selective on the people that I follow because I follow the people that add value and I want to engage with their content. So they keep doing it. People that don't add value, I'm not engaging on their content. So that's a great litmus test, right? Of we collectively can control or start to influence the kind of content that we're seeing in our feeds, engage more on the value stuff. Let the rest of it go away. Okay, Facebook's going to make it go away anyway. So let's stop gaming the system. Let's start working smarter to use the system, because I still believe Facebook is a great place to show up for your business. But please use Facebook Live if you're not using it already. Come practice inside the messaging den if you are nervous about that, anxious, and you just want a safe place. Okay, so here's what I want to know. I want to know what you are thinking about with your own content strategy. We're going to talk about this inside the messaging den all week. And then I'm going to share my content strategy with you on Friday. So come into the messaging den and talk to me about where you think you want to show up, the kinds of content that you think you want to share. I'll do a Facebook Live on Friday and share mine and answer questions that you might have for how you might develop your own content strategy. But here's the thing to know. Just having a strategy of where you want to show up and how often you might want to show up, that plan, no matter, I could give you let's pretend I had the golden magic plan. If you showed up in all these places and you did exactly these things, that's all you need to do. It would still only work if you have the right message behind the marketing technique, right? Showing up and doing a Facebook Live, posting on Facebook, using Instagram, being on Twitter, using LinkedIn, it still all comes down to your message. All that content creation gets way easier when you have your entire messaging foundation developed. And if you don't have yours developed yet, or you're unsure what even goes into developing your messaging foundation, I'm doing the next round of my masterclass next Monday to help you go from blending in to boldly standing out. It's the 7 foundational elements that you need to make your message roar. And so look, I'm going to break it down. These are the same 7 elements I help my clients develop inside my premium program, Messaging Mastery, the foundation. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that program at the end of that masterclass if you want more information. But I'm going to walk you through what each of the 7 elements are, why and how they give you a competitive advantage, because each and every one of them does. It's going to allow every one of those marketing avenues, tools that you use to be more effective, and what you can start doing right now to develop those on your own. If you want more help with that, I'll tell you about my program. The doors open next Monday, but only for a few days. So if you think that it's finally time to stop throwing content out there that's not relatable to your ideal client, if you are not yet showing up as a one-of-a-kind expert, and if you don't have a message that's truly actionable, making all of that content even easier to create so that you can be reliable as the expert that you are, and just imprinting your brand on people's brains that you want them to think about you, then I invite you to sign up for that masterclass next Monday. I'm offering it at 2 different times, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, so you can pick the time that works best for you. Just go to carrieprice.com/masterclass to grab your spot, and I will see you there next Monday. In the meantime, jump inside the Messaging Den. Just go to themessagingden.com or search for The Messaging Den right here on Facebook. Share with me what you want to see in your own content strategy, and then join me live on Friday for a behind the scenes look at the new strategy that I've been working on that I'm going to start rolling out this year. I'm going to be learning right along with you guys as the Facebook algorithm changes. And I want to share those learnings from you so that you can get smarter about what you're putting out there too. But it all comes down to your message. So stop blending in with everybody else. Stop copying what other people are doing. Make sure you are truly standing out. Go out there and make your message roar. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.